very interesting. It was limited. I found that it was very interesting at C4-5. I don't know why. I'm thinking maybe it's a joint. So now I'm going to do a Paivm. So if I do a Paivm, what do I have to induce? A glide. If I just crank his neck like this, okay, I'm winding through the CV region. That can be unhealthy for the CV and the vertebral artery. So I'm going to CV lock. Side bend, derotate, side bend, derotate. Now his CV is locked, his vertebral artery is happy, C2 is neutral over C3, I'm good to go. From here, I can take this lock, and I can start to bring him into that front left quadrant. If I bring him, now C2-3 is neutral, I palpate C3, I now have a functional unit of CV locked on C2, I move him into a flexion, left side bending quadrant. What can I get a sense of here? Inflection. I'm in a flexion quadrant. Of which side? Right? Which segment? C2, C3 right now. My finger, I have done a lumbrical grip at C3. Remember C2-3 was neutralized. So C2 is neutral over C3. A lumbrical grip on C3. I have CV locked. I am now bringing him forward in this direction. I am now inducing an upslide of C2 on 3. I give a counter pressure on C3. That's a Paivm. Okay? That should look very familiar. Cross your arms. Right? I bring him into here. I add the extra press. Get the extra glide. I have a functional unit above. I'm stabilizing below. I'm getting a sense of the Paivm. That's an extension Paivm. Or a flexion Paivm. Okay?
So you're pushing down on C3?
I'm stabilizing and giving counter pressure. So if I CV locked him, I stabilize C3. I'm going in this quadrant direction. Right? See how I'm bringing him forward left? What do I have to do to C3?
Hold this.
Hold it. I have to create a counter pressure almost opposite. Opposite to the direction. You can just hold it right there. You got to create a little bit of a downward pressure so that I can get that slide, that upslide on the right.
You're doing that on the sinus process or the transverse process?
I'm right on the facet. Right on the facet, articular pillar of C3, the lower part of the facet. As he goes there, I can pull down. Do lumbrical grip to hold it, but you can also give a little extra push with your index finger.
Would it be a little bit of an upslide on the left side too? Just a lot less than the right?
Since I'm side bending him this way, I'm sort of downsliding.
You're downsliding for the side bending, but then when you flex...
And it flexes, so it's essentially I'm just neutralizing the left facet. Because it's like downslide, upslide, downslide, upslide, so it kind of stays in its position. Okay? But what I've done is I've taken this to end range. Because the Paivm, it's an end range. Right? It's an end range glide. You're getting the sense of an end feel. If you get to the end feel, you go, okay, it's a firm end feel, pretty good range, I'm getting the glide I want, it's normal. If you get in there and you say, oh, that does not want to move, it's a harder end feel, it's a stiff joint, it's a block joint. I'm going to have to mobilize that area. Okay? CV lock, have them locked. The height is tough on this table, so you can see how I've placed my hands. I've kind of put him like this so that I can stabilize his head this way. In Kung Fu, it's praying mantis hold. And then I'm able to get a little bit of down pressure this way. I have control of his head, and then I can use my body to start to move his neck. Palpate C3 this way, work my way down. C3 on 4. Now I'm holding C4. Bring him forward, end range, counter pressure, get a sense of the glide. Work my way down, stabilize, get a sense of the glide. Okay? For extension, let's say, you okay? Yeah. If I found the right extension quadrant interesting, I can still side bend him, I can still do this exact same lock, but now I have him locked, but now I can do C2-3 and I can bring him this way. Okay? If that's uncomfortable, you can actually do it in either direction. But since I have him locked, I can actually side bend below. I'm not losing the CV because I have him locked in that position. But if it's more comfortable to side bend him in the same direction, here you go. Bless you. Now I'm going to do the left extension quadrant. I'm palpating C4. Now I'm bringing him side bending this way, so C3 and C4. All right, so now the side bending matches, but I have the rotation here. Let's just stick to that one.
Side bend?
Yeah, stick to the direction of side bend. All right. So you're going to CV lock. So his CV lock has side bent the CV which direction?
Left.
Left. So now as I work my way down, I'm only going to do the Paivms where a left side bend is appropriate. So for the right facet, left side bending is appropriate for which slide? Up slide. So I'm going to do flexion. So this is the one I did before. All right. But now left side bend is appropriate for which down slide?
Left side.
Left side. So now if I bring him into extension here, now I can do the extension pedal here. And I can work him down. Okay? As you get a better handle on the CV, you could do it either direction, but let's just stick to that direction for right now. Alright? So CV lock, do a left side bend, assess a right up slide, and a left down slide.
Okay.